Some of the other great composition. The two components, you don't do the shit.
No, it's cool, man. I love it naturally.
The two components which don't fight for you come first or I come first in you are light and water. Now, like I said, if I have to explain to you in one word, it would be light. And if I say 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is, I see you, I might call you water. In one word, I will never call you free. Nobody's free. Everybody, nobody can say I am.
So
very
fair enough. So honest. I'll tell you what. Now, if we get from fire and water elements to the element that is ether, don't over assume that one would know what is ether.
You would. See, for me, I would talk about the energy I know.
Right. And I'll talk about what I know additionally, which is ether.
Right.
But there's something beyond ether. That's vacuum. And I'll be able to express both right now in 1 minute.
Yeah.
But see, there is a stone that is dropped in a pond of water. The ripples will get created. The ripple closest to the drop will be most concentrated. Now this frequency is going to get lighter and lighter. The wave is getting flatter and flatter. So this is the transformation from, it is beginning from the source was exactly flat. So this flat I'll cover later. This is the part which is vacuum. But we'll get to ether. Ether is that nearest to the flat. The water is prior to this. Every other element is prior to this. Now this flatter wave, when it becomes absolutely flat, zero frequency, this becomes a vacuum. From vacuum, which is only a mental state, the space between two atoms, but the reality is they are not even atoms, so we won't get into that kind of analogy. I'll just simply say the mind, that on which the wave is moving. Because for having meaning to anything, you need two. Can't be established in isolation. So the other, in case of movement, is non-movement. So we always notice anything matter, if you look at microscopically, is always in movement. Particles are always vibrating. You take away movement from a car, the car is still there, but you take away movement from matter, it vanishes. So there is movement and there is non-movement. The mind, when moves, is a thought. This thought is a wave. Now, this wave is moving on its opposite, which is non-movement, which is the vacuum. Now, this vacuum was the original first singular state of universe, and this mind had this quality of whatever it looks at. As a child, you know this. Whatever it looks at, it wants to know. Whatever it opens its indriya to, it wants to know. So when there was nothing, the mind wanted to know. But there was no dual. So it created the dream. Now in comparison to dream, it knows itself. This where all the wave is leaving its impression, which is your clutter of wave, my clutter of waves, is the range of waves that we are of. And that emptiness that it is leaving its impression of movement on, like I touch you, the touch is important for having some impression or experience. So that which it leaves its impression on is your Atma. So it's limited because it's only having the impression of a certain wave structure of you which has a feedback loop. All waves don't have that. Humans have that full loop. Now this one is leaving its impression on void. That becomes your Atma, mine, my Atma. But the moment I shift my spotlight, so let's say I have an odd moment in life, and my spotlight of experience is on this odd moment. This odd moment is a clutter of wave. It's a cluster. We can totally shift the spotlight to something else. And this will almost seem like the truth of life, which is we are in the center of a cosmic ocean, like this ocean, and we can't fight the wave. So the wave is going to take us to what it is meant. We can only ride it, which simply implies to total surrender, which means that let the wave make its impression and keep moving on. But it is a movement, so it does not mean कि खाली बैठने में कुछ कर नहीं रहे. वो जैसे मूव करा रही है मूव करिए. तो ये कैसे मेजर कर रहे हैं? ये जो वैक्यूम है, ये वैक्यूम के ऊपर ये इंप्रेशंस आ रहे हैं, और ये वैक्यूम अगर स्मूथ एक्सपीरियंसेस जी रहा है लाइफ में, मतलब कोई भी परिस्थिति है, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में नहीं है वो, तो फिर वो धार्मिक ढंग से जी रहा है. या सो वैक्यूम इज फ्रीडम. द वेव इज नॉट देयर एनीमोर. So somebody who is already established on vacuum has actually truly come to appreciation of the dual nature of life. So he's not in conflict with the dual nature of life. Yeah, life में conflicts आएंगे, missions होंगे, ambitions होंगे. He is, because not in conflict with it, he is just experiencing whatever waves come by. So the nature of vacuum is that it is non-interfering. God is non-interfering. It lets the wave be. The only thing in the universe that is non-interfering. It just lets the wave be. So this has a quality which is to be able to see everything without bias.
But also the vacuum that
Because it is fluid.
So there's a vacuum. A vacuum has got the capability of absorbing.
That's all it does.
Right?
That's all it
And
does.
when it's doing that, it is either absorbing and letting go back to the wave.
That's what is experienced, like absorption.
Right. But again, now, that vacuum, like you're talking about, can only reach that stage of when you're pure light.
Yes. Because the
Otherwise-
beginning movement of the first, the moment there is movement in the mind, it's light.
Yeah.
The moment movement happens is kinetic energy,
Yes.
which is heat.
Yeah. So that's again, it's a byproduct, right?
Yeah, it's a byproduct of vacuum.
Exactly.
The mental activity, which is when we think.
Right.
That is the beginning of everything.
So a person like you, for example, today, since your vacuum is so strong, you are able to, I would not say control, but let go of the waves that are going above and through you, right? And you have a choice. Being there in that where there is no sound, where the vacuum is there is no sound, right? Because it's underneath the water. So it's absolutely, there's no sound except for the sonar radiation that you're getting under the water. But when you say that
The vacuum is upon which everything is riding. It has
it's
nothing of
underneath
its
the
own.
water.
Yeah,
Still,
of course,
right?
of course.
Because there is no sound.
Vacuum is actually underneath everything. It's underneath everything.
Everything is what we are 50% water. This planet is
Now, but look at vacuum. Two particles, two atoms के बीच का जो space है, जो नहीं है, मतलब space है वो, उसके अंदर की क्वालिटी अगर समझ में आ गई कि कॉन्शियस अनुभव यहाँ पे हो रहे हैं, बॉडी में नहीं हो रहे हैं. जो तरंगों का जो तरंगे का इम्प्रेशन पड़ रहा है इस वैक्यूम पे, उसकी वजह से अनुभव हो रहे हैं. ये वैक्यूम है जो अनुभव ले रहा है. अगर ये चीज़ समझ में आती है तो फ्री स्टेट है.
तो ये आती समझ को है सबको, पर वो इम्प्लीमेंट करना नहीं
हाँ,
जानते.
अब इसके लिए रेफरेंस पॉइंट मैंने कहा था ना कि एक रेफरेंस पॉइंट एक आधा दूंगा लाइफ में. जिस रेफरेंस पॉइंट को हम अगर उजागर कर पाएँ, वो रेफरेंस पॉइंट यही है कि अगर मैं सुबह सुबह बैठा हूँ पार्क में, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़, लेकिन बट इट fills my heart with immense gratitude that I am able to speak this to you.
Same here. I don't have this conversation with people.
Correct.
You know that. I don't have anybody to
Yeah,
have this conversation
correct,
with.
absolutely.
Check my wife.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're sitting in a park and you know that when you hear sound, bird का chirp का आवाज़ आया और वो sound हमारे पर्दे पे आके interact किया. Point of interaction तो सिर्फ पर्दा ही था. आवाज़ की ध्वनि तो पहुंची, न्यूरॉन्स मूव हुए, लेकिन आवाज़ की ध्वनि पहुंची एक बात है. मुझे ये कैसे समझ में आ रहा है कि वो कौन सी डाली पे बैठी हुई है चिड़िया, उसकी पोजीशन कैसे समझ में आ रही है, और ये साउंड जहाँ पे भी हो उसकी पोजीशन आँख बंद करके भी समझ में आ रही होती है. जब हम और कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड स्टेट में होते हैं साउंड के, तो पहले साउंड की वेव उत्पन्न हुई, वो दुख महसूस होगा और फिर साउंड हमारे से इंटरैक्ट करेगी. तो क्या मैं उस जगह भी हूँ तो मुझे वो चीज़ महसूस हो रही है. ये रेफरेंस पॉइंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रेफरेंस पॉइंट है. जब हम अपने आप को खाली करके उस जगह महसूस कर पाएंगे जहाँ से साउंड उत्पन्न हुई चिड़िया की, तो मुझे एकदम से समझ में आ जाएगी कि ओ मेरी कोई लोकल पोजीशन नहीं है.
It's time travel.
It's not time travel. What I am saying is that if you can imagine the quality, another quality of non-matter would be, because it is not in any position, because it is non है ही नहीं, तो उसकी पोजीशन क्या होगी, तो नॉन लोकल है. क्योंकि वो नॉन लोकल है, वहाँ पे कोई ऐसी स्पेस नहीं है जिसमें कुछ ट्रैवल होना है. तो टाइम ट्रैवल और ये सारी मटेरियल साइंस की लिमिटेशन तक बातें चलेंगी.
It's just a example I won't say time travel means like you're traveling in time.
Right.
It's basically something like, for example, you can be omnipresent. You can be at 10 different places at
Yeah,
one
that's
time.
why I say don't use the word time travel.
Yeah, so for me that's what I know. I mean, I don't know the technical word.
Correct.
for it, but so
Time would mean time. Time and space will coexist.
absolutely. But again,
And I'm saying what the space that is empty, which is not there, that is Shiva. Wahi hai Shiva.
that's the only frequency then.
That's zero frequency.
Yeah, that's the only frequency where one can meditate and feel what the vacuum means. Any other frequency that we talk about.
These articulations are very important. I'm using this opportunity to tell you wherever the articulations are wrong, as Albert Einstein says, that if you can't put it simply enough, then you don't know it well enough. मेडिटेशन के बाद में आती है वैक्यूम की स्थिति. तो जब आप आर्टिकुलेट किया अभी लास्ट, which is an incorrect articulation, which means that, see, I'm telling you that right now what we need to understand is there will be only handful of people who will understand निराकार. प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद ने पूरा रिलीजन लिखा निराकार कह रहा हूँ. सनातन धर्म में मंडुक्य उपनिषद के अंदर ये जो बातें मैं कह रहा हूँ ये सारी रखी गई हैं उनके भाषा शैली में. बहुत लोगों ने मुझे बात बताई है. जो निराकार है वो ही है वो वैक्यूम जिसकी मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. अगर ये निराकार समझ में आएगा तो जितनी भी बाकी की एनालॉजी हम डेवलप कर रहे हैं, जो एनर्जी तक पहुँच गए हैं अगर कि ओके देयर इज़ फ्रीक्वेंसी, तो हम बस अब आखिरी पड़ाव बचाएं कि जब वो फ्रीक्वेंसी समाप्त होती है तो क्या बचता है. ये स्थिति को समझना पड़ेगा. तब इस चर्चा को मेरे तो ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ, इट्स नॉट अ मैटर ऑफ गुड लिसनिंग, it's a matter of I know. I absolutely so one day maybe somebody in the world will come and say, like for example you said light, beautiful, it's beautiful. I would have always shied away from speaking using that word for myself, but this just validates and encourages me because I'm not shy in self-praise, you know. Similarly, somebody should one day say, what is it I have written somewhere, only knowing non-matter is the matter of enlightenment. You don't need to know everything else. You can be totally wrong in many other areas of life. So non-matter is enlightenment because it's just the most fundamental thing. The moment you start realizing, oh, this is the point of origin, it starts changing something about life. Primarily, odd situations can be handled with far greater ease because तब लगता है कि परमात्मा है, मतलब भगवान है. परमात्मा के भी बियॉन्ड है भगवान का टॉपिक. परमात्मा सारी आत्माओं का मिश्रण है, लेकिन आत्मा का सिर्फ महत्व तभी तक है जब तक वेव्स किसी चीज़ के ऊपर राइड कर रही हैं. ये सारी वेव्स के कॉन्शियस एजेंट्स, आप एक एजेंट हो गए कॉन्शियस में, एक कॉन्शियस एजेंट, क्योंकि हमारे पास वेव्स में फीडबैक नहीं करना हुआ है. ऐसे कॉन्शियस एजेंट्स का पूरा मिश्रण है परमात्मा. जिस चीज़ के ऊपर ये परमात्मा राइड कर रही है वो है परमात्मा. तो यहाँ तक की बात जब समझ में आ जाएगी, जिसको आ जाएगी उसको बोलेंगे एनलाइटेंड बीइंग. तो ये चीज़ लोग एक दिन बोलेंगे. तो जो एनलाइटेंड बीइंग है उसको आप देखिए मोनोलॉग्स करते हुए, वो अकेला बैठा होगा मंच पे और वो बोल रहा होगा, वही उसके समय का अच्छा यूटिलाइजेशन है. तो बिकॉज दे आर पीपल लाइक यू सो काइंड. नॉर्मली ऐसा होता नहीं है. जब हम अपने लोगों से मिलते हैं जो हमें पहले से जानते हैं, वो इतना महत्व नहीं देते हैं कि वो इतनी सिंसियरली इस तरह की कोई बात सुने और किसी इंसान को वैल्यू करें कि या ही इज़ द वन हू कैन इम्पार्ट दिस अल्टीमेट ट्रूथ नॉलेज. इतना तो कीन लिसनिंग दें तो वो नहीं मिलता है. अदरवाइज़ ये वीडियो रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है तो शायद ऐसी कुछ चीज़ें अगर लोगों तक पहुंचती हैं और जिन लोगों को लगता है कि यार कुछ बहुत ऑब्जेक्टिवली ये बात दिखा गया, विजुअलाइज करा गया, वेव किसी चीज़ पे राइड कर रहे हैं और वहीं पे कॉन्शियस एक्सपीरियंस है और वो चीज़ नॉन लोकल है, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक शुरू होता है. नॉन लोकल वाली बात भी समझ में आ जाएगी तो ये एकदम क्लियर हो जाएगा कि ये वर्ल्ड एक मेंटल सिमुलेशन है. और जब ये लाइटनेस आ जाएगी लाइफ के अंदर तो वही होगा जो अभी तक मेरी लाइफस्टाइल में कैप्चर हुआ है कि मेरे पास कोई सोर्स ऑफ इनकम नहीं था, पेरेंट्स के पास कोई कुशन नहीं था, कोई हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस नहीं था, कोई मेडिकल हिस्ट्री नहीं है और 37 इयर्स का हूँ और कुछ इस तरह की चीज़ें कर रहा हूँ जो जिसके लिए एक प्रकार की ऊर्जा चाहिए. तो ये सारी चीज़ें जब जोड़ के लोग पाएंगे तो उनको पता चलेगा कि यार ये व्यक्ति ऐसा है कि इसको मोनोलॉग्स करने का मौका देना चाहिए. तब लोगों को ये नहीं लगेगा कि आई एम नॉट लिसनिंग और दे जस्ट वांट टू हियर बिकॉज मुझे पता है गैप्स क्या है. मुझे पता है दैट यू हैव बिकॉज आई हैव आल्सो सीन यू मूव, सो यू हैव योर flow through your entire spine correctly. Now that is what makes you such a beautiful person that I would only meet either women or in among male friends just you or maybe Anuj. That's it. I can't think of anyone else. Everyone else is not a friend but a colleague come friend. जो totally colleague के nature में है मेरे साथ collaborators हैं. So it is because of that free spiritedness that you have. So what is left? What is left? Vacuum. Only that. And when you understand that, then we'll go beyond life.
So I can
Beyond life.
yeah.
Death. That topic is the topic of death.
I was just coming. That's exactly what I was saying. What I was saying is that you know the entire process of photosynthesis, what a photosynthesis does, or maybe the cycle of nature. एक पेड़ है, एक टेम्परेचर का है, फिर दोबारा उसको फला है, वो ठंडा है, दोबारा और पेड़ changes. Similarly, I feel from that vacuum that we are talking about, we don't have to have levers after it down. From that vacuum, if it is illuminated, if it has that light that people want to see or feel, you can have levers, 6 levers, 7 levers, 10 levers, as many as you want in this life. You don't have to wait for death.
Samadhi is the rebirth when you go into that vacuum.
That is what Samadhi is. Now today, just in school is what we registered as what photosynthesis is, but it's one of the main programming of nature that allows you to be a part of it. Right? Otherwise, there is nothing else. So for me, what I feel is that we are talking absolutely the same thing. But again, I still feel that that vacuum is just not a vacuum. It is what more to it.
No, I am telling you the fundamental quality of nothing. We use nothing loosely, the word nothing. The fundamental quality of nothing is that it is conscious. And I'll tell you why it is conscious. Because there is nothing but mind. If there is only mind in the universe, there is nothing else. So mind has this quality of always wanting to know.
So another thing, if you realized in the past 100 years or maybe 200 years? So for me, I feel that women and nature, they're both the same.
Right.
They're both absolutely the same.
Right, absolutely, exactly.
The thing with nature, you abuse it, it'll keep taking, it'll keep taking. One day,
Right,
it'll destroy.
right,
One day.
right.
Ultimately.
That's right.
Women have the same power.
That's right.
Now, women don't have the choice as nature does
Right,
to be so devastated
right,
and want to go.
right,
They have to combine
right.
to get through, right? And they have been tortured from the day they were born.
Right.
Even today, like child deaths, killing the girl, all that. It's still there in the small villages of India. Maybe it's considered reality. But now, people, if you look at closely how the women started the planet, being tortured, abused, they used the machines, but they still had that cycle, that monthly cycle, the hormonal change that goes inside every month. We as men don't know what that means or what that means. We can only protect them or abuse it. We only have two options. Some people abuse it, some people protect it because they know what this cycle is all about. Now today, after those 200 years or 300 years, if you see women, they have reached a stage where they're connected. You can feel the power of what a woman is. I'm not saying it's on to a 100% level, but yes, there is you can sense it. And when that is happening, that common vacuum, after you, me, 10 other of us in the same circle, might use the same vacuum. It's not necessary that you have to use your vacuum. Vacuum is one. It is nothing. Absolutely nothing. So when it's absolutely nothing, I can be your vacuum. You can be somebody else's vacuum. And it's again protect you. Similarly with women, their vacuum is not one. Their vacuum is combined. And one day will come when they are going to enchant this world and screw it up. You abuse me. Today I have the power that within 2 or 10
They're acquiring that.
I will destroy you if you abuse me.
Right.
So that is the sense that prevails in me today as to how much I have learned about life. So I feel that if I see myself as one man and I'm down there, I have to make do with just this one man. I might get lost somewhere. I might get scared. I might get, different moods. Because I'm a part of the cycle. And cycle will give it to me. So similarly, I feel that the vacuum that you talk about is one vacuum that's controlling this entire cycle, the light, the water, everything that's going on. Reach that is one of the most difficult parts of it. People who reached it, I think they're lost.
That is samadhi, reaching that is samadhi.
I know people, I've met people, I've seen people go to
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
And if you just think about the state of mind they are in when they are going into that, you can't explain it.
No, but I have been in samadhi several times, so I can explain it non-mystically to the precise point of what it is. Yeah.
Why don't you?
Okay. So when you are comprehending sound, you are in the range of 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So you are not seeing its form in color or any other that it has. Everything that is in movement is essentially light. Because we have the indriyas that makes light be heard. You understand? So that light becomes sound. And that is also a limitation. That we are seeing that, we are just hearing that. Because of our limitation, we can't see the light of it. But when you start surrendering yourself to this one wave, singular, the sound that you are hearing, then you get concentrated on that only. All the other utilization of your resources is gone. You are the wave now. Now you feel in totality. Now you are seeing the colors. This is psychedelic. Now you are seeing the color of the sound. Now you let the sound be and you don't be. The sound moves you or keeps you still, no problem. The sound is going to stop. The sound may stop at the settlement of your breath, which is getting easier. It's not becoming still anymore. It's becoming easier and then finishing. So either that stage happens or the sound finishes. You will drop into that which is not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is samadhi. Now imagine the power of these expressions. Absolutely original, nowhere in the world can these things, such complicated topics, be spoken in a way that they give some solace. Temporary only till the point you are able to connect all dots and see the power of what happens when this Jnana Yoga enters once. But first it will enter the intelligence, and then when I give you this analogy of a bird, when you don't forget it, when you start practicing exactly this should be a highest level sutra from real life of people. That they should be sitting, and if they observe sound, just plant themselves right there. And if they can, then they will start experiencing that they are not here. They are there, but they are also there. Because before the sound enters, they will feel vibratory effect of something. That's why they know the sound originated there. You understand what I'm saying? Right. These are things that are evading the world. Because maybe I am the only one, but I today never shy away from telling people. Because I know what is the highest topic in the world is consciousness. Neuroscience, theoretical physics, everyone who's making that choice, two sannyasis, they are all headed in the direction of understanding what this is. But perhaps I was the blessed one, but I'm not alone at this. There are people. Osho knew what this stuff was, but he was speaking a language of poetry mostly, or history or theory of stories. But the quality he had makes me feel he was among the few who were in touch with this Jnana Yoga. They were united with this Jnana. This Jnana Yoga is underplayed in our society. Bhakti Yoga या इमोशन या अनुभव बस यहीं तक रुक जा रहे हैं लोग. ना इसको समझना पड़ेगा और उसके बाद इस एनालॉजी को ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा कि हम कितनी बारी अनुभव अपने आप को देख सकते हैं कि हम यहाँ नहीं हैं. बस साउंड पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट करके ये जांचना कि यार ये मुझे ओरिजिन समझ में आया, साउंड का हुआ कहाँ है. ये इसीलिए आ रहा है क्योंकि मैं वहाँ पे हूँ. लेकिन क्योंकि मैं इतना नॉन बायस स्टेट में हूँ वहाँ पे, क्योंकि बॉडी में नहीं हूँ, कोई इंद्री नहीं है वहाँ पे, वो सिर्फ उसका एज इट इज़ इम्प्रेशन फील करती है. इन इंद्रियों की वजह से हमें वो लाइट दिख रही है. कभी मैंने कहा लाइट भी कुछ नहीं है वैक्यूम के सामने, ये सिर्फ दिख रही है, ये भ्रम है. कौन आके बोलेगा लाइट इज़ नॉट अ रियलिटी. बट मैं ये बोल सकता हूँ, इन पर स्थापित रह सकता हूँ और वो ज्ञान रख सकता हूँ समाज में जो नहीं है, जिन लोगों के पास. श्योर
Your points.